Do you feel that something is about to change? I don't know exactly what's going on inside you, but I want you to stop for a moment and pay attention. Maybe it's just a persistent thought, maybe a strange feeling in your chest, something that seems to tell you that something bigger is coming your way. This is not a coincidence. I'm not here to convince you of anything, but I will tell you one thing: when life wants to talk to you, it doesn't whisper, it shouts. And I know you've heard this shout before. It's that message that comes when you least expect it. It can be a phone call, an unexpected encounter, or even something you will see by chance, but it will turn your world upside down. And it is going to happen. Very soon. What you do with this is another story. I know you want answers, but before you go chasing them, take a deep breath and look around. Notice the signs. Life never hands you things for no reason. You just need to be alert. But I need to warn you. When this news comes, it may not be what you were expecting, but it will be exactly what you need. I know you might not feel prepared for what's coming. In fact, who really is? The most impactful changes in life never ask for permission to enter. They simply arrive and take over everything. And you need to understand this now. What is about to happen is going to challenge you, but it's also going to transform you. This news, this event, will shake your foundation. It might make you question everything you believe to be stable. And do you know why? Because life has no interest in keeping you comfortable. Comfort is the opposite of growth. And what's coming is an invitation, or perhaps a demand, for you to grow in a way you've never grown before. I know you feel afraid, and it's okay to feel that way. Who wouldn't? But don't let that fear be the only thing you feel. Because along with it, there is something much more important: the possibility of something better, something greater. Can you perceive that? Or are you so focused on doubts that you can't even see what is in front of you? Breathe for a moment. That's it. I'm not going to ask you to calm down, because it would be unfair to ask that right now. But I want you to perceive that what you are feeling is not the end of anything. It's the beginning. And beginnings, as scary as they may be, carry an energy you cannot ignore. It's what sets you in motion. Maybe you're thinking that you don't have the strength, that you don't know how to deal with what's coming. But I'm going to tell you a truth you might be avoiding. You are much stronger than you believe. Look back. How many things have you faced that you thought you couldn't handle? How many moments of pain, doubt, and loss have you gone through and overcome? And yet, here you are, more resilient than ever, more alive than ever. You didn't get here by accident. What's coming now is different, I know. It seems bigger, more challenging, more definitive. And maybe it is. But what matters is not the size of the challenge. What matters is how you are going to face it. There is no map, no manual. The only thing you have is your courage and your will to continue. And that is enough. And there's one more thing you need to know. Change will not wait for you to be ready. It will not ask for permission, nor make sure that you are comfortable. It will simply happen. And when it does, you will have two choices. You can resist, fight against it, try to keep things as they are. Or you can accept. You can embrace the unknown, even without understanding everything, and trust that there is something greater at play. This doesn't mean it will be easy. It won't be. It's going to hurt. It's going to throw you off balance. It's going to make you question who you are, what you want, and how far you're willing to go to find your path. But it will also show you a strength you didn't even know you had. It will open doors you didn't even know existed. Now, I ask you, what will you do when this happens? Will you hide, pretend nothing has changed, or will you face it head on? Will you allow yourself to feel the fear, the doubt, and still take the next step? I can't do this for you, no one can, but what I can tell you is that you are not alone. You never were. Life has always given you tools, signs, and even people to support you, even if you haven't noticed. So if you're waiting for a perfect moment, absolute clarity, I need to be honest with you. That moment is not going to arrive. You don't need to be entirely sure to act. You just need to start. Because sometimes simply beginning is enough to change everything. I know there are a million questions in your head right now. Why is this happening to me? Will I be able to handle it? What will happen next? I'm not going to give you ready-made answers because they don't exist. What I can give you is one certainty. You will find out. And in the process, you'll uncover yourself as well. And no matter what you're feeling right now, whether it's fear, anxiety, or even a glimmer of hope, it all plays a part. These feelings are what make you human. Don't try to erase them or pretend they don't exist, but also don't let them paralyze you. Use them as fuel. Let them push you forward, not backward. Now I want you to do something simple. Look around, pay attention to the small things, the sound of your breathing, the texture of something you're holding, a detail in your vision that you may have ignored until now. These small moments are all you have, and no matter how insignificant they seem, they are the beginning of something bigger. They are proof that you are alive, here now, and ready for whatever comes. Because in the end, no matter what life brings you, what really makes the difference is what you do with it. The world doesn't stop. The news keeps coming. Changes happen. But you, only you, can decide how you are going to respond to it. So tell me, are you ready to take the next step, even without knowing exactly where it will lead you? Are you willing to trust, to take risks, to believe that there is something greater waiting for you on the other side of this news? If the answer is yes, even if it's a hesitant, unsure yes, then you've already started. You need to understand that the moment you decide to take that first step, everything starts to move. I'm not talking about something grand or filled with certainties. Sometimes the next step is small, almost imperceptible, but it carries with it the strength of something bigger: choice, the decision not to stand still. When you face the unknown, your mind starts to create scenarios. It tries to predict what will happen, finds all the reasons for you to stop, for you to retreat. And I know it's tempting to believe those thoughts because they seem to protect you. But the truth is, they limit you. They keep you tied to what is familiar, even when the familiar no longer makes sense. Now ask yourself, what are you really protecting? Is it something still worth it, or is it just the fear of losing control? Life doesn't want you to have control. It wants you to trust. Trust that even the most uncertain situations have a purpose. Trust that, even without knowing how, you will find a way. And trust that within you already exists everything you need to deal with what comes. But don't expect it to be pretty. Don't expect it to be easy. Transformation is never comfortable. It demands that you face parts of yourself you may have avoided for years. It demands that you ask yourself things you never had the courage to ask. It demands that you let go, not because it's what you want, but because it's what you need. And yes, it will hurt. It will hurt to let go of what you've held onto for so long. It will hurt to give up certainties that seemed immutable, but at the same time that pain will make space. Space for something new, something you can't even imagine right now. But that, when it arrives, will make you look back and see that it was all worth it. Can you imagine how it would be if you allowed that? If you didn't fight against it but flowed with what's happening? Because deep down, you already know that resisting isn't going to change anything. What is destined to happen will happen, and the only thing you can control is how you choose to react. It may seem simple, but it's the most powerful decision you can make. And I want you to understand this now. You are not being punished. You are not being tested without reason. What's happening is a call, a push from life to get you out of where you are and to where you should be. Because no matter how much you try to convince yourself otherwise, the place where you are today is not your final destination. It's just a station, a pause on the way. And that news, that change that's coming, is the sign that it's time to move forward. I know you might be tired. I know that life sometimes feels like an endless sequence of challenges, but I want you to think for a moment. What would happen if you gave up now? What would happen if you decided it's not worth trying anymore? The world would keep turning, things would keep changing, but you would remain stagnant, stuck in a cycle of regret and what if. You deserve more than that. You deserve to truly live. You deserve to experience everything life has to offer, even if it means facing the unknown. Because it's there, in the unknown, that the greatest rewards lie. It's there that you find your strength, your purpose, your essence. So, when that news arrives, when that change presents itself, I want you to be ready. Not to have all the answers, but to embrace whatever comes. To trust that, even when everything seems chaotic, there is an invisible order guiding each step. And above all, to believe in yourself. Because in the end, the only thing that really matters is this: your ability to keep going, to try, to not give up. Now make a promise to yourself, not to me but to you. Promise that when that moment comes, you won't back down. That you will face it head on, even if you're trembling inside. That you will accept the challenge not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. And above all, that you will remember that you are not alone. You never were. Life is with you, even in the moments when it seems to be against you. I don't know what is coming. I don't know what that news will be or how it will manifest. But I know it will be a turning point, and I know you have everything you need to face it. Because in the end, what really matters is not the news itself, but what you choose to do with it. And I ask again, are you ready to trust yourself and what is to come? Are you ready to face what life has in store for you? If the answer is yes, even if there are mixed doubts, then you have already taken the most important step. I know these words may have stirred something within you. Perhaps you are now trying to understand how all this connects with the moment you are living. Maybe you are thinking, is this what is happening to me? Is this news, this change already on its way? I want you to know that no matter where you are right now, what you feel is valid. Your doubts, your fears, even the relief or anxiety that arise when imagining what lies ahead. All of this is part of the process. What I want you to understand and to keep with you is that life does not act randomly. This message you received today, this call, this feeling that something is coming, this is not random. Life always finds a way to put us on the right path, even if at first it seems confusing or scary. If you are feeling that something is about to change, or if you have already noticed the signs of this change, pay attention. Don't ignore it. Many tend to avoid looking at what causes discomfort, to pretend that everything is under control, or that things can continue as they are. But you know deep down that this resolves nothing. Change happens, whether you are ready or not. The difference lies in how you choose to face it. Now is the moment for you to start asking yourself important questions. Am I living according to who I really am? What is holding me back today? What am I avoiding doing out of fear of the unknown? These questions may not have immediate answers, but just by asking them, you begin to change. You make room for life to show you the next step. And when that next step arrives, whether big or small, accept it, even if it comes in the form of news you didn't expect, an opportunity that takes you out of your comfort zone, or even a loss that seems unbearable at the moment. Because often, the things we fear the most are the ones that transform us the most profoundly. I know you've been through difficult times before. Maybe at the time you thought you wouldn't make it, but here you are, still standing. This is proof that your strength is greater than you imagine. And the strength you used back then is still within you now. In fact, it is even stronger because each experience we face leaves us better prepared for what lies ahead. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know exactly what to do or where to go. The only thing you need is the courage to take the next step, even if it is small. A movement, no matter how small, is what separates stagnation from growth. And growing, as challenging as it may be, is always the path. I want you to think about this now. What is holding you back? What do you know you should change but haven't had the courage to face? Maybe it's a relationship that no longer makes sense, a job that doesn't fulfill you, or even a belief about yourself that limits you. Whatever it is, life is giving you an opportunity to leave it behind, to move forward, to become the person you know, deep down you were born to be. But this demands something from you. It demands that you trust the process, even without understanding everything now. It demands that you allow yourself to feel fear, but not be dominated by it. And above all, it demands that you be present, here and now. Because it is in the present that life happens. It is in the present that changes begin. I am not saying it will be easy. It won't. But you are capable. You have already faced what seemed impossible before. You faced situations that tested you to the limit, and even so, you kept going. Now it will be no different. The difference is that now you have more awareness, more experience, more tools to deal with whatever comes your way. And I want you to do something now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what do I really want? Not what others expect from you, not what seems safe, but what you deep down desire. Let that answer come up, even if it's uncertain, even if it comes with doubts. That answer is your compass. It will guide you on the path that lies ahead. And now I want you to take action. Don't wait any longer. Don't let this feeling, this calling, pass by. Share in the comments how this message resonated within you. I want to know. I want to hear your voice. I want you to tell me what you are feeling, what is going through your mind right now. Because sometimes putting these things out there is already a big step. And if this message touched you in some way, if something here made sense for the moment you are living, I ask you, leave your like. This is not just a simple gesture. It's a way of showing that these words found you at the right moment, and it also helps this message reach other people who need to hear it today. And of course, subscribe to the channel. I am here to share with you reflections, stories, and messages that can help you navigate the ups and downs of life. I want you to be part of this journey with me, because together we are stronger. Life is made up of moments like this, where a simple message can light something inside us and take us to places we never imagined. The decision to continue is yours. The decision to listen to what life is telling you, to act, to change. But I want you to know that regardless of what you choose, you are not alone. I am here, and this community is here to walk by your side. So tell me, what is going through your mind right now? What is the next step you feel you need to take? Write in the comments. I want to know. I want you to know that your story matters, that what you are experiencing now is part of something bigger. And remember, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and share this message with someone who might need to hear it. You never know the impact a word, a gesture, can have in someone else's life. And sometimes, that is how transformation begins, in a simple movement that triggers everything that follows. Life is calling you. What are you going to do with it?